Good morning. It is week 3 of college football, not quite madness yet. He beat me last week. I'm not happy about it. Thank you, Syracuse. I was 18-4 on my predictions. He was 19-3. So
I don't think it was the Syracuse game because we were that tied us. I don't know. It was one of the later games that did it.
You can't pick one game that did it.
Well,
that's not how it works. Anyway, so let's just go ahead and dive into it this morning because there's nothing exciting this week, I don't think. I'm not excited about any of these games this week. All right. Oh, do we have somebody with us? Yay. Hi, whoever you are. We never have anybody watching us. Hope you stick around.
Interesting.
Anyway, first game, or we go in order of how they're ranked. So let us know if you have any thoughts, whoever's here. Number 1, Clemson at Syracuse. Yeah, I'm not. Syracuse can bite me.
We lost all our faith in Syracuse last week. Yeah, so I think
when you lose 63-20.
Yeah, so we're both going to go Clemson. I'm assuming on this one.
Yeah, we're both going Clemson. I mean, how can you not? Clemson, I don't think. And I've heard someone say this morning that, Syracuse is going to put up a fight against Clemson. But, yeah, that's not going to.
They say that Syracuse plays Clemson hard every year or whatever. I don't understand that. It's not an in-state rivalry or anything.
Actually, I think it is an in-state rivalry.
Syracuse is New York. Clemson,
Okay.
South Carolina.
Right,
Unless they're
stupid.
Like both ACC somehow, which is possible.
I don't know. Either way, yeah, Clemson's got that game. Number 2, Alabama at South Carolina. Oh, South Carolina beat us 9 years ago.
Yeah,
it was the last time we played, so they think they're going to beat us.
It is the first SEC game of the season, looks like.
Well, for us anyway. So, yeah, South Carolina, I hate to crush your dreams, but not happening.
Yeah, I got to go Alabama on this one too.
So
bad as I hate it.
Yeah.
I hope South Carolina shows up and plays them a good game though.
I hope I always hope it's a good game. I hate the blowout games. It's great that we have a wonderful team, but can we, make things interesting every now and then? Okay, number 3, Georgia versus Arkansas State. And for me, this is a gimme game for Georgia too. So
yeah. It's going to be a little lackluster. I hate it. We have an actual person watching it this week, and it's going to be lackluster because of how the schedule is this week. It's just a bad week, man.
So LSU moved up to number 4 this week. They moved up from being 6th last week. I think it's somewhat appropriate that they moved up. But I don't know that they'll stay there. I think they're thinking they're better than they are at this point. Not a dig at LSU, definitely not a dig at Coach O. I just don't know that LSU is quite as solid as everybody seems to think they are. I don't know.
They've always seemed like they've always got a shot. They have a bad year here and there, but they're always talked about just about every year at some point.
I still just don't know that they deserve to be ahead of Oklahoma at this point.
We'll see.
I don't know that Oklahoma deserved to drop because of LSU.
We'll see what happens.
But they're playing Northwestern State, so
yeah, I'm going LSU.
That's a gimme for
Coach O.
Number 5, Oklahoma at UCLA. I've heard. I think they're just wanting upsets this week because everybody's talking about upsets this week. So, and close games that aren't going to be anywhere near close.
Yeah, I was watching just Sports Center or whatever a little bit about this game, and while they're at the same time they were trying to hype UCLA, they were talking about this isn't UCLA's year at all. So I got to go with Oklahoma.
I mean, Jalen's going to kill it, just like he's been doing.
I'm already one behind her.
Oh yeah, the game last night, and that was Washington State and Houston, and for some reason he decided to say Houston was going to win that game.
I ended up watching it, and like when we turned it on, they were tied up. Houston had been.
I mean, it was a good game.
It ended up being a pretty good game until the fourth quarter, and then yeah.
Okay, the Ohio State. First of all, I have to say, haha, y'all lost your bid to get the trademark because you're idiots. So Ohio State at Indiana. I think it's a gimme for Ohio State.
Yeah, I'm going Ohio State on this one too.
Okay, Notre Dame, number 7 Notre Dame versus New Mexico. First of all, just because their helmets are gold does not mean they get to move up with a 1-0 record after a bye week.
Yeah. And there weren't enough people that lost that were ranked to justify that either.
And
it's weird.
I feel like somebody went, nope, I just cannot put Auburn above Notre Dame yet. And
with
that's
good reason,
why,
and we'll talk about that in a minute.
But still, they're 1-0. They haven't proven anything yet this season.
Yeah.
So
and Auburn didn't show me.
They move up.
Auburn won last week, and the score looks. Okay, we'll get there.
Yeah, they're next. But because they're playing New Mexico, I gotta say Notre Dame. I'm going with Notre Dame as well. Yeah. This may be a week where we have a hard time not being tied at the end of for our predictions. Okay, number 8 Auburn versus Kansas State. Auburn moved up 2 spots.
Didn't deserve to move up 2 spots, in my opinion, and love those guys, but that was ugly game.
The score doesn't awful. At all. The score from last week does not at all reflect the game that was played.
No, it was awful.
Because first of all, y'all need to get your crap together down.
And being an Auburn fan, I should be used to it not being able to get comfortable during a game unless we're 40 points ahead. Because I've seen us blow it, but you never get used to it. But it makes each win a little sweeter, I guess, in a way,
If you say so.
Any game that the ambulance doesn't have to show up at the house.
Get your quarterback and your coaching situation under control. That's all I got to say.
I want to see more out of the quarterback that got in toward the end of the game.
Your defense is doing all right. Your offense looks like crap.
Yeah.
But still, it's Kent State. I got to go Auburn.
Yeah, I'm going Auburn too. Of course.
All right. Number 9 Florida at Kentucky. This is one of the games they're truly saying. Like, I know Feinbaum said that he's going with Kentucky in this game. We got 2 SEC teams.
Indeed.
So it should be a good game.
And I think they're playing at Wildcat Stadium too.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
I can't. Florida's actually looking pretty good this year, and I can't with Kentucky in football.
Okay.
I can't go Kentucky. So yeah. I mean, I'm obviously going Florida.
I think I'm gonna go Kentucky.
You're gonna go Kentucky just to make things interesting for us.
Yeah, to keep it interesting. And I mean, I got no horse in that race. I got to cook this weekend.
Yeah, I get to cook today. What I'm doing today is better. Anyway, what do y'all do for game day food? Do you do anything special? Do you do anything interesting? Today we're having beer cheese and homemade beer cheese and homemade pretzels and homemade spinach artichoke dip and Philly cheesesteak sliders, and there's something else I'm cooking on. I don't remember what it was. But when he had to cook last week, it was pork tenderloin and corn on the cob.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, smoked it. So good.
All right. Anyway, football. All right. Number 11, Utah versus Idaho State. It's another one that they're talking about this week, but I just don't see Idaho State. I mean, it might be a good game, but it's not going to be. Sorry, my leg itches. But it's not going to be a crazy upset or anything. I'm going Utah.
Yeah, I'm going to go Utah as well.
Utah looks fairly solid this year, so I'm going to give it to him. All right, number 12, Texas versus Rice. Now, Texas lost last week to LSU. It was a very good game. Very good game. If I wonder if they're going to let Rice have air conditioning in there. Have you heard this?
No.
You haven't heard this? Coach O said that he was told by someone else to make sure they brought fans and stuff because the locker rooms were so hot. Okay. Texas is claiming that there's nothing wrong with the air conditioning unit and it's performing correctly. However, they said they pulled like their their readings and stuff from their thermostats from last week. Even though Coach O had like blowers and portable AC units and stuff in the locker room, their thermostat was set at like 68. The temperature in the locker room was 72 degrees. So I don't think your AC is working properly, Texas. I'm just going to say that. If your thermostat's set at 68 and it's 72 degrees in the locker room with portable cooling, then something's not right. Anyway, Texas versus Rice, that's a Texas game.
AC Gate 2019.
Texas dropped three spots over that.
I'm going to go with Texas
as
well, only because I don't know enough about Rice to make a
I don't think there's
informed decision.
Okay, now we've got number 13 Penn State versus Pittsburgh this week. That should be a good game. There's talk of having to have changed signals because Coach might have stole signals. Something, I don't know. I was getting prepped for this live this morning, and I heard something about it, and I caught the end of it. But yeah, something about stolen signals or signs or whatever.
Okay.
So there's that little bit.
I'm gonna go with Penn State.
I'm going Penn State as well. I'm hoping that's a good game though. And I kind of hope that someone looks like they've had all their signs stolen, their signals stolen.
Okay.
Maybe a total route would be interesting, just so there's looks like there's some kind of proof of stolen signals. Anyway, all right, number 15, Oregon versus Montana. Oregon's looking okay. Oregon and Auburn week 1 was a rough game to watch. Neither team looked good. And of course, Oregon lost that game to Auburn, which is why they're at number 15 now.
15 seconds. Yeah.
Yeah. I still have to go Oregon because they're playing Montana.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Oregon as well. And it's the late game because
Yeah, it's the 10:45 game. So, all right, number 16, Texas A&M versus Lamar. Of course, A&M dropped 4 spots this week because they lost to Clemson. I don't know that they deserve to drop 4 spots over that loss.
I don't think so either because Clemson's good.
But I gotta go A&M on this.
Yeah, I
don't even know who Lamar is.
I've heard of him.
When you say Lamar, I think Odom. So, because pop culture. All right, number 17 UCF versus Stanford. All right, they're hyping this game up.
This could be a good game.
UCF went back up a spot this week because they continue to win. I don't know why they dropped a spot last week. This is my thing with UCF. You can hype this game and say Stanford's gonna, might pull this out. It's gonna be a rough game, whatever. Until UCF loses a game, I'm not counting UCF.
No, absolutely not. And
UCF is my backup team. Well, my third actually, because I gotta pull for Oklahoma with Jalen. But UCF is number 3 in my personal rooting for you team list. So yeah, UCF, let's do it. Keep it going. Prove them wrong.
Please.
That's where I'm at.
Make the playoffs. If they don't give you if you go undefeated and they don't give you a playoff bid this year,
we're rioting.
Then something. Then
if nothing else, there will be riots in Holland, Ohio, outside of our house.
I'm gonna tackle that tree.
You might knock it down. I'm pretty sure it got hit by lightning. Anyway, not recently. Number 18, Michigan State. That's why the whole bridges are falling off. Okay. Number 18, Michigan State versus Arizona State. I gotta go Michigan State on this.
Michigan
State. They did manage to go.
I'll always go Michigan State until they show me something bad. I got a special place in my heart for Michigan State.
I don't have strong feelings either way about Michigan State, but I mean they're playing Arizona State, so. All right, number 19, Iowa at Iowa State. This is where game day is at today.
This could be your best game of the day, considering it is a huge in-state rivalry. They have a trophy and everything.
Yeah, I still won't go Iowa State on it, so I'm going Iowa.
I'm going to go Iowa State. And not just for, I've been thinking that all morning. I'm going Iowa State on this one.
Yeah, he has no idea what I'm saying except for the Alabama game mostly each week.
What are you talking about?
As far as who I'm going to predict, who I'm going to predict to win. I mean, there are certain games that are just gimmies. But
yeah, we don't talk about it ahead of time for the most part. I mean, we discuss.
Yeah, I do all the prep work. I sit and look at last week's games and all of that good stuff, and he sits down and says hi.
And I get up in the morning, early on my day off. Yeah.
Yes, because heaven forbid you be up at 10 a.m.
Yeah.
For a man that's used to getting up at 5:30.
You never get used to it.
All right, number 21, Maryland at Temple. Everybody's really excited about Maryland for some reason. They still haven't played much anybody. Now they did whoop up on Syracuse.
They played
last
a
week.
hell of a game last week.
They were not ranked last week.
That was the first game I watched, and it set the tone for the day. I got crunk up watching that game.
So I'm gonna go with Maryland. I was on the fence about this because part of me wants them to lose, but at the same time, it doesn't really matter to me.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Maryland as well.
All right, number 22, Boise State versus Portland State. I don't care one way or the other about this game at all. Boise State did move up 2 spots after beating Marshall 14-7. That's not much of a gap there against Marshall.
But it's your lower ranking team,
and that but still, you got 100 some odd teams.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Boise State.
Yeah,
for the win.
All right, number 23, Washington versus Hawaii. Washington. Did I say Washington State? It's not Washington State. It's Washington. Washington dropped 9 spots after their loss to California last week, which also bite me, California, or bite me, Washington. Either one of y'all can bite me because I had Washington in that game.
That's USC. Is that the USC game last week?
No, it's California game. They played California.
Okay, they didn't play. Who did USC play last week?
I don't remember. Hold on. Somebody in the lower tiers. Stanford.
Okay.
So, okay, Washington versus Hawaii. I'm going to go with Hawaii. If I'm not mistaken, when I looked at Hawaii's schedule this morning, they are undefeated. So I'm going to let them stay that way.
Okay. That sounds cool. I'm going to stick with Washington on this one.
I could be wrong about them being undefeated, but I thought that
they're kind of hyping this game a little bit. They're talking about it could be a close one or whatever. And when I say they're talking about it, I'm talking about SportsCenter because that's the only thing. That's the most research I do all week. Like I watch SportsCenter when I get up when I roll out of bed before we do this. But hey, it paid off last week.
Either way, Hawaii as a state produced the Tagovailoas, who we love. So I'm going to go Hawaii.
She loves. I respect.
Okay, yeah. Anyway, they're both amazing. We're happy to have them. Next game, number 24, USC at BYU. Now they're saying BYU might beat USC this week.
What?
Now USC, that game last week against Stanford.
Was it the Holy War when their first game of the season this year? They played Brigham Young and
USC won against Stanford 45-20. Now I'm going to bring that back in a minute to another game, but I'm going USC.
Yeah, I'm going USC.
You're going USC. Okay.
Well, yeah.
All right, let's get this number 25
BYU
game.
Didn't show me shit.
Let's get this number 25 game out of the way, and then I'm going to backtrack for just a minute. Number 25, Virginia versus Florida State. Florida State looks like crap. I do not like Florida State. I'm saying Florida State's going to win this game.
I'm going to go Virginia with
You're
it.
going Virginia.
To keep it.
It's just spite
This
me.
is actually, to spite her on this one.
I don't even like Florida State, but I think they're going to pull this one off.
I think you can flip a coin on this
they're
one.
ready to go. Oh no, we've got to win a game this year. So I think they did win a game, but I don't think it was. I don't know.
I think you can flip.
I've looked at so many records this morning, and it's ridiculous. I've probably looked at the records of 50 teams this morning, so they're all getting convoluted in my head.
I had a coin. I wish I could keep a coin over here. So on some of these, like this one, flip
a coin.
Yup.
It'll end up rolling around the room somewhere or something.
Mm-hmm. It has to land on one or the other.
Number 10, Michigan, and number 14, Wisconsin have bye weeks this week. Michigan dropped 3 spots this week. Wisconsin moved up 3 spots this week. So there's that. Okay, back to the USC Stanford. Okay, so USC beat Stanford 45-20 last week. But we're saying Stanford's going to beat UCF this week? I don't see that. That's what I'm saying. Like, they make no sense in their talk of upsets and stuff. Like, it doesn't make sense to my.
They're trying to hype games and get people to watch in a rather boring week this week.
Do we really have to hype UCF though?
Well,
if we'd stop talking like they're going to lose every freaking game and that they're a fluke.
Because that's what they want. They want them to lose. They want them to,
it makes it easier for them to justify ignoring them.
Right, exactly.
For the last 2 years.
They don't want to have to eat their words. And,
if we act like they're going to lose every week, we can pretend like they haven't been an amazing team for the last 2 years.
And they have.
Now, I understand they lost their entire coaching staff this year. They have an entirely new coaching staff this year.
But they're
2-0. They were strong against Florida Atlantic, who played a good game against Ohio State. Florida Atlantic is not a team to sneeze at. I mean, they're not. They've got strong coaching there. Florida Atlantic, while they're 0-2 right now, they've played UCF and Ohio State.
Yeah.
They played out of teams that are way out of their league.
I'm just glad.
Sorry,
UCF,
I'm shaking the.
I'm glad UCF's in the top 20. That's awesome.
I'd like to see them move up where they belong, closer into the top 10.
Well, I hope they crack the top 10.
I mean, they barely did it last year with a perfect record. So, so anything big on your radar? What game are you most looking forward to, other than screaming at the TV for the entirety of the Auburn game this week?
I'm actually looking forward to the one that SportsCenter's at, the Iowa State game. I think that's going to be a good one. And what's the other one? There's one more. There's Iowa State, which is going to be good. And then there is the Virginia-Florida State game. I think may end up being a pretty good game too.
I'm going to be paying attention to that Penn State-Pittsburgh game. Just because I want to see what the talk. If there appears to be any truth to the signal stealing accusations there. I'm probably going to pay pretty close attention to this LSU game tonight, because I want to see if maybe I'm wrong about LSU. I could be wrong about LSU not being as good as what they're being brought up to be right now.
Fourth. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, they're number 4. I mean, I'm not arguing that in the top 4 there are 3 SEC teams. Just saying. Just saying. 3, but we're not 4, the strongest not the strongest conference in college football.
5 in the top 10. 5.
Half of the top 10 is
in the top 10
is SEC. But
we're not the best conference in the nation or anything. Yeah, overrated.
We're overrated. Yeah,
overrated.
And they're talking about an unranked SEC team maybe beating one of the ranked SEC teams this week. So
But I mean, it's not a hard conference. It's no harder than the Big Ten, Pac-12, or whatever it is.
I need to start listing the conferences.
Although the ACC is stepping up.
ACC is stepping up. All right. So that's really all I've got today. Again, I'm ready for us to get into some more solid.
It's coming.
Games.
Conference games are coming.
So, I mean, we've got our first conference game today. I still don't think it's gonna. I think it's going to be a blowout.
But I mean,
around
like
that.
conference part of the season is coming, where everybody's playing conference games every week.
Yeah, I just don't see that that's going to make a big difference because the big teams are going to be the big teams. I'm ready for big teams to be playing big teams.
Well, that's going to happen in the SEC when the conference games start.
Well, that's true. I'm ready for us to get into October where we start seeing more bigger games, more bigger games.
More bigger.
I'm the author, ladies and gentlemen. I know my grammar.
She done figured it out.
All right. So that's where we're at. And again, he won last week. I'll give it up to him on that. But my team played better. And that's enough for me.
Yeah, I hear you.
Because Bama actually doesn't look like they're struggling through the first couple of games of the season, and that's unusual for us. So maybe we'll actually not get so much talk about how we need a stronger schedule because our compared to some of these teams, our schedule is actually decent this year. Oh, before we go, what do you think about Coach Saban saying, making the comment about not being able to get teams to play him, like bigger teams, stronger teams?
I don't know how to feel about that.
Do you think that's true?
I don't see the man lying about anything, honestly. He seems like an honest man. But, I mean, it would seem to me that these bigger teams, if they want to call themselves bigger teams, why would they not want to play the powerhouses, the Clemsons, the Alabamas, the Georgias? Why would you not want to play them and prove something? How else are you going to move up? What's Rick Flair say? If you want to be the man, you got to beat the man. Woo! Yeah.
Alrighty then. I'm awake now. Yeah, my only counter to that is he calling the bigger teams and asking them to play? Or is he just waiting for his phone to ring? I'm not
in his position, you can sit back and wait for your phone to ring.
But not if you want a stronger schedule, because you're going to have to talk somebody into playing.
But do you want a stronger schedule?
Of course, we're talking about games that are scheduled 3 or 4, 5 years out.
Just because you're not getting a strong schedule, do you really want to go out and look for it when you're still ranked in the top 2 year after year after year? I mean, don't back away from the challenge.
I'd want to shut up the haters.
But why go look for it?
Because we can beat them.
Okay.
I mean, Saban likes to shut people up. So if we can if it's possible to get that schedule to shut him up. Of course, the games that are being scheduled now, he's probably going to be retired at that point. So because we only got 4 years left to Saban.
Yeah.
No, we have 5. He's under contract to 2024, so we got 5 years left.
Who's the heir?
I love it.
Dabo?
Nah, Dabo ain't going nowhere. Clemson's not going to let him.
Dabo loves Alabama.
I mean, Clemson's going to bankrupt the school to keep Dabo. So
Dabo loves Alabama, though.
Kirby Smart.
I know who you're talking about.
Maybe.
I don't know. Coach O? No, because Coach O loves LSU.
All right. We're very quickly hitting that 30-minute mark that we're trying to stay under. So thank you, whoever you are, for joining us for the full 30 minutes.
That might be us somehow.
I don't know how that's possible. Never seen it before. So,
yeah.
All right. Anyway, we're done for week 3. We will see you for week 4. Glad you were here. And enjoy your games today. Be safe.
War Eagle.
Roll Tide.